Okay. Blocking. Blocking is one of the most common defensive maneuvers that you see, particularly in striking martial arts. It exists in so many different arts, and it's practiced by a wide variety of people. In our opinion, blocking is actually a very effective defensive maneuver. However, there are certain realities that you do have to take into account. Like, for example, we're aware of the fact that in most martial arts they would practice something from a stationary position, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's actually very, very useful, particularly on a basic level, learning how to do some things from a stationary position. So, because simply it allows you to get structure. So this person puts their arm out, and I'm able to practice. Do I have the right alignment? Are my legs in the right position? You know, am I properly guarded? You know, it's not a bad thing. What is a bad thing is the reality of this. The reality of this is that when someone throws shots, it's highly unlikely that that person will ever be foolish enough to leave their arm sticking out. So in other words, the person throws a shot, the shot actually comes back to its starting position. Now, for this video, we are looking at just basic straight strikes. We're not talking about heavy hooks because we think that heavy hooks actually deserve their own video in the future. But we're just trying to make the point that, in our opinion, blocks can actually be very effective. They can actually be extremely effective as a defensive maneuver. It's a very bad habit to get into, thinking that you can use them as an offensive maneuver, because it's highly unlikely that in a street fight anyone is ever going to leave their hand out. This isn't going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I mean, unless the guy is really stupid and he doesn't know what he's doing, he's never going to just leave his arm out. This guy is actually going to throw these shots. He's going to come back in. His hands are going to come back in. He's going to get back to a starting position because he wants to actually protect himself just as much as we want to protect ourselves. It's a basic theory. He does it again. Throws these shots. He does it slowly. Alright? I can do whatever I want. But in reality, when he's actually throwing these shots and with the intent of hurting me, there's going to be a lot of speed and there's actually going to be an awful lot of power. So what I'm going to get? There's going to be a hell of a lot of power. Now, I'm not saying under any circumstances that it is impossible to actually defend yourself with something similar to a block, like particularly a parry. But if you're of the mind that you're going to get the opportunity when someone throws a punch to basically hammer this arm down, you know, potentially break the arm, unless the guy has absolutely no clue what he's doing, that's just not going to happen. It just can't happen because he wants to defend himself as much as we do. So please keep in mind, when you're actually you're training for defensive maneuvers, you need to keep this as light as you possibly can. The second that I actually make contact with this person's arm, my intention isn't to actually break the arm. My intention is to actually move forward with my strikes. Throws the shot in. I want to be able to move in because it's our belief that it's not the defensive maneuvers that are actually protecting you, it's the offensive maneuvers. It's your strikes, it's your knees, it's your elbows. These are the things that you use to actually end the conflict. So please keep that in mind when you're training. This practice is actually fine. Hammering blocks, you know, person's arm out, it's fine if all you're intending to do is learn basic structure. But if you want to talk about the reality of these things, he's coming in with these shots, hands are up, you know, he's throwing these things, he's not going to give you the opportunity to actually lay in a heavy block. It's just not going to happen, okay? The second you feel contact with this arm, you need to move forward. You need to basically come in with your shots. So, we do hope this information was useful. If you like this video, please consider clicking the subscribe button, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks.